day forward. Let us together show that Reagan's love, optimism, and faith in the American people were not misplaced. Let us show that we will not let the American light go out, that we will fight for our Constitution, for life, and for freedom. If we stand together and return to the free market principles and the constitutional liberties that built America, once again, we can have morning in America.
Senator Ted Cruz chalking up victories in 3 states last night, winning his home state of Texas. He also won in Oklahoma to the north, and he also won earlier today in the state of Alaska. Cruz once again calling on his rivals to get out. He argues, give me a shot at Donald Trump one-on-one. Texas Governor Greg Abbott's my guest now, supporter of Ted Cruz, live in Austin. And, sir, thank you for your time, Governor, and thank you for coming back here. Make your best case. What does Ted Cruz do in the next 13 days?
Several things. One is he's campaigning aggressively. I think he's in Kansas today. Our neighboring state, Louisiana, is coming up shortly. And so there are some states that are going to be favorable to him. But secondly is what Ted Cruz himself said moments ago in your tease, as well as what your panel said earlier in your segment in the prior hour. And that is that as long as we have all of these other candidates in the race who have no chance of winning whatsoever, peeling off delegates that otherwise could go to people like Ted Cruz, Ted will continue to trail just slightly behind Donald Trump. If, however, these other candidates get out of the race, Ted will have a chance. But there's another revealing fact about what happened yesterday. Now that Ted Cruz has won 4 states, look at what happened in the states that he won yesterday. He outperformed the polling in Texas. He outperformed the polling in Oklahoma. And at the same time, Donald Trump underperformed the polling in each of those states, as well as Alaska. And so it shows that Ted is gaining ground as the campaign continues.
Okay. All right. Now, let's drill down a little bit here, okay? Because you know John Kasich's not getting out. You know Marco Rubio's not going anywhere, and on down the line here. Evangelicals in the Southeast went for Donald Trump and not Ted Cruz. Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. Why is that?
Well, Bill, that is changing. I realize that was the pattern early on. But if you look at the way they broke for the elections last night, here's what is beginning to happen, which paves the other pathway for Ted Cruz to be the president. And that is, now that the field has winnowed down, now that voters have a true choice between someone who is a rock-solid conservative, who has a proven record of fighting for religious liberties, of fighting for the evangelical-type vote, they will see there's a huge contrast between Ted Cruz and everybody else in the field. And I think that you will see the types of breaks that happened last night in favor of Ted Cruz continue to happen in his favor going forward.
Let me just try the question a different way. Is his draw and attraction based more on geography? Because it's Texas, it's Oklahoma, strong performance in Arkansas. Is it more geography than religion for Ted Cruz?
Right. First, you did make a great point. He came so close in Arkansas, he would have won Arkansas had the other candidates not been in the race. However, remember, he won Iowa. But here's his draw, and that is there's only one true Republican conservative that's running in this race right now. And so his draw is the conservatives. Ted has a proven record with regard to rock-solid Reagan-esque conservative principles. And I think that people in the Republican Party will gravitate toward him now in these closing days of the election.
This isn't Mr. Potato Head, not to be flippant, but it's not like you can pick which hat and which arm and which leg to put on the potato. You know, you have to compete against the field that's out there. And right now, the field might be more crowded than Ted Cruz or others like, but, I mean, that's what the defense gives you, Governor.
But Billy, if I could continue with your analogy, the potato for the Republican Party are conservative principles that line up with Ronald Reagan, the candidate in the race who most profoundly speaks for those conservative principles is Ted Cruz, and so he should be winning the potato for the rest of this campaign.
Okay. Debate tomorrow night. You know Ted Cruz is very aggressive. So too was Marco Rubio last week in going after Donald Trump. What is his strategy before a national audience on Fox News in Detroit, 9 o'clock Thursday evening?
I think you will see somewhat of a replication of what you saw in the last debate. and that is both Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz going after Donald Trump. And think back of what you saw about Ted Cruz. What Ted Cruz went after Donald Trump on was the lack of any substance to his health care policy, the lack of any substance to what his answer is to the Obamacare law, the lack of any substance with regard to who he would appoint to the United States Supreme Court. We have this huge gaping vacancy because of Scalia's passing away. Conservatives know that the right person who will appoint a true conservative to the United States Supreme Court is Ted Cruz.
Governor, thank you for your time, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow night. I know you will be watching, and we have more time down the road to talk about potatoes. The analogy was apt, and thank you for playing along. Thank you, Governor. Good to see you in Austin.
Thank you.
You bet.